Dear friends, let us learn about the superficial palmar arch. There are two palmar arterial arches in the palm. One is the superficial palmar arch, the other is the deep palmar arch. And these two palmar arterial arches are formed by the branches of the radial and ulnar arteries. So let us learn about the superficial palmar arch. So let us learn about the superficial palmar arch. The objectives for learning the superficial palmar arch is at the end of this learning session, you should be able to describe the formation, beginning, ending, course and relations of superficial palmar arch and the branches of superficial palmar arch. Now let us see the formation, beginning and ending of the superficial palmar arch. In this picture, you can see the superficial branch of ulnar artery and then the ulnar nerve and the superficial palmar arch and its termination by joining with a branch from the radial artery. So the formation, beginning and ending, let us consider. So it is formed mainly by ulnar artery and is completed by a contribution from the radial artery, and it is the direct continuation of superficial branch of ulnar artery in the palm distal to flexor retinaculum, and it begins at a point just lateral to the pisiform bone. And regarding the ending, it ends at a point on the distal border of the thenar eminence at the level of hook of hamate bone, and it is the termination is in line with the cleft between the index and middle fingers. So that is about the formation, beginning and ending of the superficial palmar arch. Now let us see the course and relations of the superficial palmar arch, and it passes deep to palmar aponeurosis. So you can see after removal of palmar aponeurosis only you can see the superficial palmar arch. Then it runs in front of long flexor tendons of flexor digitorum superficialis and flexor digitorum profundus, the lumbricals and digital branches of median and ulnar nerve. So it is in front of the long flexor tendons of the digits, the lumbricals and the branches of the median and ulnar nerves in the palm for the digits. And regarding the completion of the arch, the arch is completed at its lateral end by anastomosis with one of the branches of the radial artery. So what are those branches? They are the superficial palmar branch or the arteria princeps pollicis or arteria radialis indicis. So one of these branches will join with the superficial branch of ulnar artery to complete the superficial palmar arch. So this is the superficial palmar arch. You can see the radialis indicis joining it. Let us see the branches of the superficial palmar arch, and they can be divided into common palmar distal arteries, proper palmar distal artery and cutaneous branches. Coming to the common palmar distal arteries, there are 3 in number. You can see them here, the 3 common palmar distal arteries, and they run towards the medial 3 interdigital clefts, where each of it divides into 2 proper palmar distal arteries that supply the adjacent sides of the index, middle ring and little fingers. So these are the three common palmar digital arteries, and these are the proper palmar digital arteries for the adjacent sides of index, middle, ring and little fingers. And in the interdigital grafts, these common palmar digital arteries are joined by three palmar metacarpal arteries that are originating from the deep palmar arch. Coming to the proper palmar digital artery, which is 1 in number, and it is for the medial side of the little finger. This is the proper palmar digital artery for the medial side of the little finger. So the other are the cutaneous branches. Coming to the surface marking of the superficial palmar arch. So it can be drawn by extending the thumb fully and then by drawing a curved line with its convexity facing distally towards the digits along the distal border of fully extended thumb. So using the certain points. So mark a point lateral to pisiform bone and a point on the hook of hamate 2.5 centimeters from the point on pisiform bone. Then a point on the middle of the thenar eminence. So if these 3 points are marked, then a curved line has to be drawn connecting these 3 points with a convexity towards the digits that touches the transverse line drawn on the palm at the level of distal border of extended thumb. In this dissection, you can see the ulnar artery that is contributing for the superficial palmar arch, and this is the superficial palmar arch, and then the common palmar branches coming from the superficial palmar arch can be seen, and the joining of the superficial palmar branch of ulnar with the radial artery can be seen. So this is the palmar aponeurosis. After removal of this palmar aponeurosis only, you can see the superficial palmar arch, and here you can see the ulnar artery.